We are on.
We are on, man.
We
All right,
are
okay.
on.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask you, how was your cinema experience with the Champions League?
Oh, do you know what? Didn't go.
Oh
Do you
man,
know why I didn't go? Because two reasons. One reason, first reason is that they showed it live on YouTube for free, so I just stayed at home.
is
And then
it?
secondly, the cinema was packed, and I thought, oh, do I want to be in a fully packed cinema with all these
Yeah, when
football?
you can be
I
watching it at
thought,
home.
nah, so I stayed at home. Yeah.
Oh
So,
man, yeah. But so they did show it live. I mean, it wasn't live over here. I mean, I don't know. I was asleep because it was on at 5 o'clock in the morning. I think
oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, but then I caught the highlights afterwards. Man, shit, it's gutting
Proper.
for Klopp. No Premier League and no Champions League.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, listen. Yeah. Why are we talking about football? This is
Uh,
a film and TV podcast. Listen, folks. You are listening to the Flixters podcast, episode number 192, and
192. Shit. When I was young, that was my bus that I used to get to go to Wembley.
the
192.
192.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Trust me, man. The
And it was
192.
92. Sorry, 92. That's it. Not 192.
92. It was the
92.
92.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, listen. So listen, we've got a great looking show for you today. We've got obviously movie news
Mm.
and film review that we want to speak about, something on Amazon Prime that we've watched over the weekend. And also we are going to be speaking about the streaming shows. There's a couple of decent streaming shows, and Deval's going to get into a couple of those.
Yep.
And yeah, so we hope you enjoy the show. We hope you like it. Remember, you can catch us on Instagram. Get in touch with us over there. Let us know what you're watching. Let us know what you're not watching, what you don't want to watch. And if there's a movie that you want us to review, you know what? Hit us up and we can take a look at it. And let's take it away, Deval.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of shout outs today. First shout out goes out to Corey underscore Griff. And he shouted us out on Instagram actually, and I think it was
Mm.
something to do with his activities. He was raising money for charity, I believe, and he's got his little allotment. I think I was teasing him saying he's got an allotment, but yeah, he's basically raising money for charities. So go check out his page. If he can obviously donate some money to the charity he's raising, then go ahead and do that. But he's a cool guy. He's a sports guy. Played football with him. Also loves his movies as well, and he loves
Yeah.
his trainers or sneakers, as you guys say in America.
He's a sneakerhead.
Yeah, big shout out to Corey underscore Griff. Second shout out goes out, and do you know what? I think we shout out Ciel Noir 3 every
Like
week, but it's
all the
because you know
time.
what? You got to shout out these
Brilliant.
people because I remember her page, her Instagram page, when it was, you know, still a lot more than ours, but
Yeah.
in the world of social media, some people may have said it was modest. Her page has grown and grown and grown. She's got
It's
thousands
mad.
of people supporting, following her, and she still has the same energy for us that she had then as now. And you got to respect those people. So Ciel
Yeah.
Noir, three, big shout out to you. Go check out her page, everyone. You know, she's positive about, you know, lifestyle and fitness and happiness and all kinds of stuff, really. So go check her out. Definitely.
Which is what we need in the world right about now. Do you know that, man? We need to get as much of that as possible. So get as much exposure to that as possible. So listen, hopefully we're going to be sending out some good vibes by telling you what to watch out there. So let's get into movie news. And Val,
Hmm. Hmm.
so listen, man, Netflix has been in the news recently, and I tell you, let's get down to this. They've been losing subscribers.
Yeah.
Apparently, they are cracking down on password sharing, and they're canceling shows. They are cutting back. So, what the hell's going on, man? Are we going to see the same types of shows that we've been seeing for the last couple of years?
Yeah. Also, that reminds me, I've got to send you my new password. I changed it recently, so just in case you haven't been able to watch
I was wondering,
watch your
bro.
Netflix. Yeah. But but yeah, they are actually cracking down on all of what you just said. But also,
Mm,
they want to kind of, I don't know, they want to change how they are perceived, perhaps, and change their strategy when it comes to their content. We know
right.
Netflix has been out for years now, and they're probably the top online streaming platform. But you know, we know them as a platform where sometimes it takes you an hour to find something you want.
Trust me.
They have implemented all kinds of new, you know, updates where you can randomize stuff, and maybe the
Mm,
algorithm is a bit more fine tuned to to things that you like, depending on what you like on there. But now they want to go forward with more quantity. No,
mm.
sorry, no, so no, sorry, said that wrong. They want to go forward with more they want to go forward with more quality than quantity.
Yep, yep,
So yeah, so they're going to start to, I guess, implement that strategy when it comes to pre-production of shows, and maybe not having so much on there, but having real good quality on there, because I think they
yeah,
feel it's going to drive the audience to still come to them and stay because of the quality. So
yeah.
that's what they're looking to
Makes
change
sense.
going forward. Yeah, does make
Yeah, yeah.
sense.
It kind of does make sense. Have you ever tried that option on there where it says there's a thing on there that pops up which says play something for me? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, do you know what? I've not used it yet. No,
I've not used it
I've not.
once.
I've not. Maybe that goes to show we want to be in control of what we watch.
Mm,
Maybe that's why they've realized not many people are that fancy that. So maybe
yeah,
it's making them realize people go there for things that they want. Stranger Things, massive show. Ozark, massive show.
huge.
What do we have with that the Korean show? What's it called again? Uh,
Uh,
the one in the red
money.
jumpsuit.
Yes, I know which. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, but the name's just
Looks similar
flipping
to
left
Money
me.
Heist.
Yes,
Squid Game. That's it. Squid
Squid
Game.
Game.
So
That was it. Bloody hell.
things like that, people go to it because of the hype and the
Mm.
quality, rather than just randomly finding stuff. So yeah,
You know what, man? Let's pitch an idea to Netflix. Seriously, I reckon they'll buy it, man. They're looking for fresh new
yeah,
faces. They like diversity flipping. How much more diverse do you want,
mate.
man?
Telling you,
Seriously.
man. I'm telling you, we got to
Listen,
have
so
an idea.
Flixters, if you're listening, send us your ideas. We'll submit them to Netflix. I can't imagine. But I know you got some ideas. Manuel, I know you're listening, right? So listen, I know you got some ideas. So if you got some decent ideas, let's talk and let's submit them.
Yeah.
Um, how about a podcast show that's airing and then some weird shit happens
Mm-mm.
over there? Podcast with airwaves or waves or whatever.
Shit,
Yeah, no, it's
that
a shit
could
idea, man.
work. And then we can get multiversal in it. We could be speaking. I could be speaking to you, and then somehow something
It's
happens
another
in the
person.
rift of the space time continuum. But I'm speaking to the other you from the other
Oh,
universe, and you're speaking back. But then I think I'm
there you
speaking to
go.
you, and you're speaking to the other me, and somehow we got to
And it's
find out.
happening in different. Oh, Deval. Trust me, man. Seriously. Lock that one. All right, okay, Devaldo, let's move this over to Star Wars a little bit now. Moses Ingram. When I
Yeah.
read about this, I kind of didn't get this whole shit right. So, Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he came out and he put a video out on his Instagram or Twitter or something like that.
Hmm.
And he's basically had to turn around and say to the trolls of the internet, like, stop sending racist remarks and stop harassing, stop being trolls to
Mm,
Moses Ingram, who's got this really pivotal role on the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show, on the new Disney Plus show, right?
mm,
So this is crazy. So Ewan McGregor's had to say something. Actually, Disney had to turn around and say, listen, we support
mm.
Moses Ingram, and we don't support the people out there who are kind of saying all this sort of shit. But man, why is this shit still
Mm.
going on, man?
Even the Trekkies came out. I think the Trekkies came out first. The Trekkies came out
Yes.
first in social media
Oh,
and backed
can't do
her,
that. Oh,
and they
yeah.
said, "We've got your back." Ewan McGregor actually hasn't got a social media profile. He hasn't got Instagram or anything like that. So he had to make a
Mm.
video and send it to Disney to put it through on their platform. But you're right.
Oh, shit.
You're right. I think people think it's some sort of they're forcing diversity down people's throats, or it's people that just have got hate for diversity,
Mm.
being perceived to have prominent roles on TV and stuff. Whatever it is, it's not right. You can hate
Yeah.
her for her performance. You can hate her for other stuff, but just to hate her because of the color of her skin,
It's
it's
just,
blocked.
it's
It's
yeah,
just
exactly. It's
play,
just
it's
so
played
silly
out
now.
now. Come on now, think of something else. you
Trust
know,
me,
it's
seriously,
just
think of something else. It's so
it's just
funny.
played out.
But you know what? A lot of people have been saying, like online, like, the first couple and we'll get to this anyway, but the first couple of episodes, like
Mm.
the little girl, the Leia,
You see that for me, I can not like obviously she's a little girl. I'm not gonna diss her because she's learning her craft. She's much better
Yeah,
than me still, but I just didn't
it's the
like.
directors.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
like how Leia was perceived, like running
Mm,
around. No one can catch her. I just didn't like her. But obviously,
yeah.
that's just nothing personal. You see what I'm saying? That's how we do it.
Exactly.
That's how
That's
we
how
do
we
it.
do it. We opinions. But we'll come to that anyway. Let's park that for a moment. But I want to speak about this
Gosh.
because this is just totally blew my mind. This one. So Kanye West, he is a lot of people. He's a genius. Like he's a musical and lyrical genius. A lot of
Mm,
people, you know, listen to his music and be like, wow, the way he kind of puts those beats together, the way he brings the artists together, he's absolutely amazing. You went out and you saw a documentary
yeah.
on Netflix, and you said that was actually great, the person behind all the music.
Mm.
And then you get all this other stuff going on. He marries Kim Kardashian, and there's all this shit going on. And then he kind
The
of
thing about
did he go
slavery
off
that he said, remember about how slavery was a choice because it lasted 400 years and black people couldn't get out
like
of it or something, and
didn't couldn't get
all
out of
kinds of
it and
stuff.
stuff?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff he
Yeah,
said.
controversial. Like
Mm,
he's heavily into fashion as well, and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
he bought out trainers, and like loads of people love those trainers. So there's different sides to Kanye West,
Mm.
and but this one, Devada, I want you to just explain this. Like, how does this
Mm.
work? This
Do you
next
know
piece
what?
of news.
I saw this piece of news, yeah, and I thought to myself, this sounds mad. This does sound mad, but at the same time, because some people say Kanye West is misunderstood, and I'll admit
Mm,
I misunderstand him. I never
yeah.
met him. I don't know him apart from what I've seen. So yes, I'm only getting one dimension. But the news that you're referring to is that Danny McBride, who you may have seen in different comedy. What's he been in? He's been in quite a lot of stuff in it. Danny
Do you
McBride.
remember This Is the End? Do you remember? He's done like super bad. Was he in
Yeah,
super bad? I'm pretty sure.
Pineapple Express has been in. He's been
Pineapple
in Your
Express. He's
Highness.
done
He's
loads
been
of
in.
movies. He
You're
he
right. This is
wrote
the end.
Halloween.
Yeah, he wrote. Yeah, he wrote. He was part of Halloween. So he's a white guy. Yeah. Well, he looks white. You know how things are these days. He looks white. uh, yeah, it looks white. And basically, Kanye West was saying, also, Danny McBride said that Kanye West approached him and wanted Danny McBride to play Kanye West in a biopic. Yeah, you heard that
But
right.
I mean,
So
yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say. So,
yeah,
so what is he meant to put like makeup on and
nope,
be like what? Like
nope,
what?
be him. But then I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? Maybe this is ahead of its time because we've seen it the other way around, yeah, of
Mm,
black actors or actors of color, I should say, playing roles that were traditionally, you know,
yeah.
white or whatever it was,
Mm,
and that we've seen that happen a lot. But we never really seen it happen the other way around. Well, recently, in this situation, in such a biopic is someone a real person playing their
yeah.
life, and you'd expect someone to look like them to play them. But
Yeah. Or sound like them.
Kanye West,
Yeah.
I think I don't know if he's maybe like he wants this to be done in such a way where it doesn't matter how you look, it's how you project yourself, it's your
Mm,
energy, it's your this, your that. Like maybe Danny McBride can project it in that way, and
yeah.
maybe he wants people to see him not for face value, but for what he does. So maybe it might be something that and then when you look at them both, honestly, when you look at them both side by side, they have got some kind of facial like similarities, like face shape. There's something. I'm not saying they look alike. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
there is like a I don't know if I can call it some sort of similarity there in something. Their face shape is, and even their hairline is similar. There's things about them that is similar. So maybe again, this might be his mind works in a
He
different way.
he
Maybe
could be onto something. Who
maybe we're not
knows,
ready
man?
for it, but yeah, for me, it's an
Yeah.
interesting. We saw what's his name? What's the Asian guy's name again? The one that was in Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, Dev Patel.
Dev Patel. He played that disappear. The man that makes things disappear. David Copperfield. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
So that was a biopic,
Yes.
but that was the other way around. So it's
Yeah.
like it can happen.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
just
No.
not
No.
ready for it. We're just not ready for it. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking about I mean, what can you do? You have any favorite biopics? I'm just trying to think. Like, what?
I mean, you got Ray. with Jamie
Jamie
Foxx,
Foxx, he won an Oscar.
Ali. Obviously, we've seen that one.
Yeah,
Uh, what other ones? There's quite a lot. I mean, you got one, Aretha Franklin came out the other day. Respect came out.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Just, my mind's gone blank, but there's so many that you can probably mention, across
Mm.
the years. But they've always looked like the person that they're playing
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm
mostly.
saying.
You know what I mean?
I just wonder though, because he is like, this could be just him being like, pulling one out the bag and like
Yeah,
being the genius that he is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he kind of. It all depends on your perspective on the way that you see this. So yeah, so go check that out. Read up
Mm,
on those pieces of news because I mean, yeah, they're interesting and let us know what you think on the
mm.
Instagram. All right, okay, let's move on to new and streaming. We've kind of already mentioned Obi-Wan Kenobi. The third episode aired on Wednesday, and I watched this, Devaldo. And yeah, man, there's a lot going on in this episode. And remember when we first kind of watched the first episodes, we were like, listen, look, yeah, it's great. It's kind of gives this introduction to the character of Obi-Wan, what he's been doing,
Yeah.
after Revenge of the Sith. Was it
Hmm.
Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, that's the last
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. So, and now we kind of we're figuring out what happens and what he's doing, and he's gone down this kind of adventure. Leia, young Leia, he's chasing her off and trying to get her back to her parents. But then this episode, Devaldo, things it kind of they heat up a little bit more, right? Like we're seeing a bit more action.
Yeah, it's still it's getting there. Yeah, I'd say definitely this one showed. This is the episode that showed him uh like working all the time? Is that the one? Or was that episode two? Because I've kind of I watched them kind of together, so they're kind of mixed up together. But was
Mm.
this the episode that showed him going to work and he kept like repeating himself? And
No,
was that
that was episode
one
two.
before? You see, my mind's gone like. So what happened in this
Yeah.
one then? What happened in
So
this
this
one?
is the one. This is the one where basically he he gets given some coordinates by do you remember
Oh
what's his
yes,
name?
the one that was in Eternals.
Kumail. He
Yeah,
by Kumail Nanjiani.
yeah,
He gets
yeah,
given some coordinates. He goes, "Listen, you jump on this kind of this freight carrier thing."
yeah,
He ends up on some desert island, and then
yes,
he has to deal with like some stormtroopers and everything because
yeah.
they kind of see him, and then he
Oh,
gets helped out.
yeah,
He gets helped out by
yes.
Indra Verma. Remember her from
I
Game of
remember now.
Thrones?
Yes, I remember now. I
Yeah.
remember now. It's come. Yeah,
And then Moses Ingram's there because she smells blood.
yeah,
She wants Obi-Wan Kenobi because she's got like a score to settle.
yeah,
She's obviously Darth Vader plays heavily in this
yes,
episode.
yes,
This is
yes.
a spoiler, by the way.
Yeah. I
Darth
remember
Vader
now.
he's heavily in this episode, and Darth Vader's like, if you don't bring me Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Mm,
like basically, I'm gonna kill you. Like that
yeah.
is it. I'm gonna
Why do
force
people want to work for
snap your
people like
neck.
that? I don't understand why people want to work for people. What? Imagine like going to a workplace and they say, "If you don't get that report to me by tomorrow, close of play, you are dead." What? I'm like, okay, I'm handing my notice now because that report's not going to be. I mean,
Exactly.
who wants to do
Why
that?
you wanna why are you putting
Oh
yourself
my
under that much stress?
gosh!
Like, why are you doing that, man? So Moses, like the badass that she is, she's like, okay, you know
Yeah,
what? We're gonna get this Obi-Wan Kenobi for once and for all. So they track him down onto this kind of planet, which is outside the kind of the
the
Empire's
outer
kind of
rim.
the outer rims, something like that. And then, man, there's this showdown between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you know what? I don't know why, but I was like, why does this like I don't know, there was just something missing from it. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was just a lot of just like staring at each other. It's just
yeah.
like
And, I didn't actually like the fact Darth Vader was in it so much.
much.
I think he doesn't. I understand why they do it because this is the bits in between. This is almost what you would have seen in the Clone Wars. Like you see all kinds of stuff like this, but
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. It's and then the fire bit where he's like returning the favor of making him go through the fire. He was there for a while. My man should have burned. Yeah, he should have burned. I
He should
know.
be crisp.
I had a barbecue
Like
the other day. You leave a bit of meat on there for a bit too long and don't flip it. Phew, burned. Yeah, you got to flip that. So I don't understand. and, then, and he turned out that fire quick. That fire was well evenly spread as well. My
and
man
then
could have. He could have.
he,
Mm,
he gets his ass saved, and I was just like, and then Darth Vader just looking at him. He's
yeah.
just like, what the hell's going on? Like, you should be able to force pick him up and do
Exactly.
something.
Like that little distance can stop him. No, obviously, I think they're just stretching that out because we've got to have episode 4 now. And but
Yeah.
you're right, that should have been over quick, fast, and in a hurry. Like
Because here's
I
the
don't know.
thing, right? Here's the thing. He doesn't realize it at the end of episode 2.
Mm,
Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't realize that Anakin Skywalker is still alive. So
yeah,
he always
yeah,
thought
yeah.
in the 10 years, he always thought that he was dead. But then
Yeah.
Moses, one of the what are they called again? The
Inquisitors.
Inquisitor. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's kind of third sister. She tells him Anakin's alive, and then I think that's playing on his head. He's scared when he sees Darth Vader. He's scared of him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's definitely shook. And why does she know he's Anakin? Like, does everyone know he's Anakin? I thought that was like a real secret, and she just knows he's Anakin and he's alive.
Yeah,
Like,
I think there's more to it. Why? Because remember they said Inquisitors, and maybe you might be able to fill in the gaps because of the Clone Wars. But Inquisitors,
oh,
some of them were Jedi's.
the fallen Jedi's. Yeah, Jedi's that went to the dark side. Yeah, you're right. So maybe that's
Mm.
why she's got the information. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Mm,
You know
hmm.
what I reckon the twist is going to be?
What's that?
I reckon she's going to go back to the light side.
Oh, yeah, you can see. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Come on, and she's gonna lead people to the promised land. Her name's Moses in real life. Yeah, come on now. This is all.
There you go. There you go. Come on, man. Seriously, biblical or what, man? Seriously. But listen, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, I mean, is non Star Wars fans, are they gonna like this?
uh, mm, they'll enjoy it. They might not like it that much so far,
Mm,
but they'll enjoy it. I reckon.
right.
It's,
Okay.
I,
Well,
I don't think
listen.
I don't think it hasn't woken up yet for me. It still could
Yeah.
have some some real prospects, but for me, it hasn't really woken up yet. But we'll see. We'll see.
Ironic, considering the Force Awakens. It's just like,
Exactly.
yes. All right. Let's move on to this one now. Deval, you're gonna have to fill in the gaps over here. But
Mm,
this show, we've been waiting
mm.
for God knows how long. We've
I think
raved about
two
it on
years, isn't it? Nearly
mate,
2 years, maybe.
mate.
Ah,
We've raved we've raved about this show for so long. Whenever I tell people, like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? I always say this is the go-to show that they need to watch. This is called The Boys. It dropped. The first 3 episodes are available on Amazon Prime, and you gotta watch this show. Like, seriously, go back if you haven't seen it. Watch season 1 and 2. But Deval, episodes 1 to 3 of season 3 are out there. The Boys.
yeah.
Sum it up for me, man. Oh, this is deep.
That's it. That's the sum up. Next.
Ah,
Now,
next.
all I can say is the boys gets better and better. I've seldom seen a TV show that season 1 is great, season 2
Mm.
is greater, season 3 is greatest. Like this just goes higher and higher. It doesn't let me down. Your expectations are high and they still surpass it. How is that
Oh
possible?
man.
This is on Amazon right now. Go check it out. You get an hour each episode, pretty much for the first 3. And there are things that happen in these episodes that are disgusting,
Mm.
but you expect it from the boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
there's you see. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, and I know I don't want to spoil it for you as well.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you'll see there's a couple of scenes where you think, "Did I just see this?" The answer is yes, you did.
I
That's it.
love it.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's
Is
all
it
I'm gonna
still the
say.
same? Is it still the same? Like 10 episodes? Are we still getting like?
I don't know how many. I haven't gone. I've not gone that far. I don't want to spoil it for myself. I want
Mm.
whatever happens to happen without me knowing how much I've got for it to happen
Oh
in.
man.
So, mm,
Phew, yeah, because I know Emmanuel's seen this, and he's like, yeah, he's excited about it. Obviously,
mm,
you've seen it, and other people that I know, and but basically online, I've kind of stayed away from all that sort of stuff. But I know it's
yeah.
going to be great. So this week I will be catching up on that. So I'll be able to watch 4 episodes basically
Okay.
on Wednesday. So all right, so that's The Boys. That's on Amazon Prime. And listen, let's go back a bit. We
Mm.
spoke a little bit about this on last week's episode, but Deval, you've caught up on this. This is Apple TV. This is Shining Girls. And mate, tell me, man, what do you think about the show?
Oh, this show. You said last week or the week before that this is a bit like Seven, a bit like mystery.
like
uh,
Zodiac.
Zodiac, yeah, and everything you said was spot on, and you didn't spoil
Mm,
it too much. I'm thankful for that. This show, I won't spoil it for everyone, but this show is it's weirdly beautiful. It's just
yeah,
I still don't know fully I've watched 4 episodes, and I still
yeah.
just now I'm thinking, hold on a second, does this guy have disability? I'm like, what? Because
It's
okay, who did
mad.
it? Okay, this show, Shining Girls, it's about like they're hunting down a serial killer, basically.
Yeah,
Elizabeth Moss, wicked actress. Yeah, she's got
yeah,
an
she's
Oscar
good.
in her future. Yeah, I
Yeah,
said it. Oscar. You got Jamie Bell, who we've seen in the Fantastic Four. He was in
yeah,
Jumper.
he was the thing.
He was in Jumper
He was in
with
Jumper as well, wasn't he?
Anakin
Yeah, with Anakin
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
Yeah, and he was in his young age, in his early ages, I should say, he was Billy Elliot, like
Mm,
the North England drama musical sort of ballet thing. But he's really good. Who else you got in it? Other people, anyway. But
yeah,
yeah, this show.
Wagner
Yes,
Moura,
that's it.
the
Yeah,
Brazilian guy.
Wagner.
Yeah,
Oh, that guy is
he's
good,
good,
man.
man. He's
Guy
good.
that played Pablo Escobar. He's
Pablo
Brazilian.
Escobar. Yeah, man, he's
Brazil. That he's
great.
good. He's good.
Brazil.
He's good. But yeah, this show is weird in the best way. Uh, there's things that happen in the show that are unexplained, and you just
Mm,
bit by bit, it confuses you, and I
yeah,
like it because so far when you watch a show, you always kind of are comfortable. You know what's going to happen, kinda. In this show, I'm still questioning. Did I just hear that? Did he just say this? Does this guy have disability? Like, it's crazy. It's good.
yeah.
I'm only four
It's
in. I'm
crazy
gonna
good.
At the end of the week. I know I'm gonna finish it. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's crazy good. It's ended anyway. Like, and I watched the
Mm,
kind of the final episode just the other day, and I was just like, "Shit, man! They're like
mm.
the Apple. There's decent shows on
Yeah,
Apple now.
yeah,
Like, they're
yeah,
gonna get there, and I think more shows. I think because they've got the money, they will start pumping more
yeah,
money into kind of having these decent
yeah,
shows. Like you said, Deval, it's going to be the quality, I reckon, over the
yeah.
quantity with
Here we
them.
go. I'm gonna go to Apple a bit more now. Time travel,
Mm,
man. I didn't want to say it, but time travel. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. Anyway,
I
let me not
know.
say this show is crazy.
Like
Watch it.
serial killer and time travel. Just like seriously, go watch it. If you haven't seen it, go
Mad,
watch it. Hunt it down, man.
mad, mad, mad.
Um, all right, okay. Let's do new trailers. This is always a
Yeah.
fun part of the show for me. So listen, this trailer, Deval, fill it in for me. The menu. What do you order on the menu, by the way?
When you think of the menu, what do you think of going to a restaurant? You think of
Like,
food, don't you?
yeah.
But with this menu, I'm going to tell you to think of Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph
Oh,
Fiennes, Nicholas Holt, George Leguizamo.
oh my gosh.
So with that on the menu, you kind of know this film is going to be good.
So,
Di- the director also has worked on major Hollywood blockbusters: Succession, Game of Thrones,
okay,
The
this is
Affair,
great.
all these HBO shows that are big. Yeah, the director Mark Malloyd. So
Mm,
the menu is a like a horror psychological thriller. It's coming out in November, and they are invited to eat from a lavish menu in a really isolated location, and one thing leads to another. You just think to yourself, what is on the menu? That's what I'm thinking,
exactly. Oh my
or
gosh.
who's on the menu. I don't know,
Who
but
is up,
Ralph Fiennes,
man?
he doesn't come across like Gordon Ramsay
Nah,
or anyone like that. He comes across very like almost serial killer-ish in this. But anyway, that's that. That's enough of that. But the trailer is out there. Go check it out. It's called The Menu.
sounds good, man. Sounds good. Now this one, Watcher. This one sounds pretty creepy as well.
Yeah, Watcher. I saw this one a couple of days ago, and I just thought, hold on a second. This looks mad. This one here, okay, I'll
Mm,
read out the synopsis. A young American woman moves with her husband to Bucharest. Bucharest. Bucharest is in
mm.
Romania, yeah? Or is it
Romania, yeah.
Romania? Yeah. So they move to Bucharest and begins to suspect that a stranger who watches her from the apartment building across the street
Oh my
may
gosh.
be a local serial killer decapitating women.
Oh my god.
So in the trailer, you see in this is starring Micah Monroe, Micah Monroe, we've seen her before, blonde lady, American. We saw her in It Follows, which is one of my all-time best horror films.
Great
Uh,
movie.
The Guest, she starred in that one, uh,
Mm,
and among other films. But she's good at those kind of indie films.
yeah.
And then the other guy that stars with her is Carl Glusman. Carl Glusman, you may have heard, you probably won't recognize his name, but there's a film that I reviewed a while ago called Love. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember you telling me about this one. Yes, the opening
Love
shot.
was a porn film that we bought. I say porn film, but it's a legitimate film, but
Film. Yeah,
basically it's porn. The sex
yeah,
that happens in this film is like nothing you've seen
uh,
before. You've
yeah.
seen
It's
all
like
kinds of
real.
shit. All kinds of shit. He was also in Neon Demon and also in Nocturnal Animals. But anyway,
Mm,
and also in Devs, which is on HB Fox. Really good
yeah.
show. But anyway, I'm going around in circles. The Watcher seems like a really dark, twisted kind of show. Seems very subtle. It seems like the sort of show that really unsettles you. You see the lead, Micah Monroe, walking around, and she's trying to tell her husband that someone's watching her. You're seeing these shadows, the apartment across the street. You're seeing a shadow looking at her. But she also seems quite teased by it. It's in a weird way.
Mm.
Yeah, she seems kind of teased by it. So, but anyway, this trailer looks decent. It's out on the 10th of June, so really soon.
So it's
But
a couple of days here.
yeah, this seems really decent. Sundance Film Festival. This was selected there, so it's one of those films that not a big blockbuster, but it's worth a watch.
This is if we can get hold of it. This will be probably might
Mm.
be on our hidden gem
Hidden
section.
gem, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So go check those trailers out, folks. And yeah, if there's a trailer out there that you have enjoyed recently, let us know about it, and we can check it out as well. All right, let's move on to Anniversary Corner Deval, and
Hmm.
this is from 10 years ago, so 2012. This is Project X, and I can't actually. I don't even remember this one, Deval.
You won't. It's okay. Project X. This is 2012, 10 years. Three high school students, or three high school seniors, they throw a birthday party to make a name for themselves. As the
Oh
night
right,
progresses, things spiral out of control, and basically they got to try and obviously gain control. So this is sometimes what you see happen in these American sort of frat
Mm.
party situations where everything's going great. They want to get laid and do drugs and drink,
yeah.
and something happens, and that's what Project X is all about. This film's only an hour and a half, less than that. It's rated R. It stars not Michael Mann, sorry, Thomas Mann, who he actually looks familiar. Thomas
Thomas
Mann
Mann.
was in Me and Earl and the Driving Girl, and he was
Oh,
also in Kong Skull Island. So he was one of that. He was one of those elites of army people that went to Kong Skull Island.
okay.
He was in
It says it's got
Halloween.
Miles Teller in it.
Has it? Okay.
That's what I typed in Project X and he
Yeah,
comes up as cast Miles Teller.
probably. I'll double check that. He was also in
From
Halloween Kills. He was a young version of the sheriff in Halloween Kills.
okay.
Yeah, Miles Teller's in this. Yeah, that must have been a. Oh yeah, he is in it. Yeah, yeah, Miles Teller. Yeah, there you go. A really
Man.
early role for him. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's flourished since then.
Yeah,
But
he's a maverick.
exactly. But yeah, this is the sort of. I guess this film we chose it because it sort of links in with the main film we're going to talk about next. So
And you know what? I'm so glad that you kind of said this. And look, it's a Project X. Even just like kind of going through the whole synopsis and looking at the cast list, it's very, very white. Like the,
yeah,
the cast list. And a lot of these movies, Devaldo, when you see this kind of, hey man, like this kind of, the coming of age story where we
yeah,
got to go out, we got to get drunk, and we got to get laid, and we're gonna have like amazing party. Like
mm,
you don't really now looking back at all those movies.
mm.
The other one that comes to mind is Superbad. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that's for me. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
And that
got.
was like a
Has that got?
that is it's got like I think it might even have Danny McBride in that one, but it's
Yeah, I
definitely
think
Seth
so.
Rogen,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
All
the
that lot. Michael Cera, all those kind of people, isn't it? And
exactly. So
yeah.
they do exactly the same thing. They're like, hey man, we got to go out, we got to celebrate,
Mm,
and they encounter the police officers and stuff, and like so you get those types of movies, and then you get this movie that we're going to be speaking about right now, which is called Emergency, which is
mm,
airing right now as we speak on Amazon Prime. So I didn't know anything about this movie. I just kind of it just popped up on my kind of like new. I saw like kind of like a few
mm,
things about it online, not too much, but I thought, okay, I'm going to give this a go. And Deval and I, we kind of watched this thing, but yeah, this is an interesting movie, and I'm like, and I say interesting because, like I mentioned, with Superbad and kind of Project X, this movie focuses on the similar experience where kids, high school or college kids, they want to go out. It's kind of like the end of their semester. They want to just go out and party. It's going to be spring break, and they want to let loose. But it follows two African American students,
mm.
and you don't really get that at Devaldo.
No, mm-mm. You don't.
You
That's
don't, do
something.
you?
I was. I mean, I knew it was going to be that because I sort of looked at it before I watched it. But you're right. That's
Hmm.
not something you really see in the mainstream. So it's a bit different, a bit of a different twist. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's about these two friends, and I thought they were really good. So it's R.J. Seiler. He plays a character called Sean, and then Donald Elise Watkins. He plays a character called Kunle. So the two best buddies. Now Kunle, he's like kind of like maybe a bit like a bit uptight. He's kind of
yeah,
like the nerd. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
not the nerd, but he's kind of like the academic out of the
yeah,
two. And
yeah,
Sean
yeah,
is kind of like the fun-loving. Hey man, we want to go out and party,
yeah,
and we get those types of characters. We get I've seen the white version of that character
yeah,
in so many movies, but here we're getting kind of like the African American version of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And all Sean wants to do is he wants to just finish college, and they want to go on this massive kind of like bender where they hit like 7 different clubs. It's called the Legendary, and they want
Hmm.
to go from this club to this club to this club, and these frat houses, and they just basically want to get laid and have lots of fun. But here's the thing: in those other movies where the white kids might get police officers, and they might get kind of sympathetic, is
Mm,
in this universe, these two kids, the strangest of situations happens where they go back to their frat house, and lying in their kind of living room is a white girl who's basically unconscious.
mm,
Now, the experience that you get, or the experience that you have with that situation, plays a lot into this film.
mm,
Two black people, two African Americans, and seeing a white girl on the floor, is the experience of that situation is going to be completely different
mm.
if you were maybe two white students.
It's gonna be okay. You're guilty, even though you've done nothing wrong. You're guilty until proven innocent. And most times, that proven innocent you might lose 3 years of your life in prison,
Exactly.
waiting on a hearing or whatever. So they're really really skeptical about doing the right thing, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And I found the kind of the first like half an hour of the movie, I thought the chemistry between those two, I thought it was really funny. I really liked those characters, and they put in this kind of like really kind of weird situation. And obviously, the movie, you have to go on a few leaps of faith on like why they would go on this situation. But I get it though. The director of the movie is trying to basically put these two characters who come from this particular type of background in this situation, and then he wants to see, right, okay, what happens, what
Mm,
are the kind of the racial profiling that goes on, and kind of what are the decisions that they make,
mm,
because they're thinking about, well, okay, if we call the police,
mm,
what are they going to say when they see two black people with a
mm,
white girl unconscious,
mm.
like
They're gonna think they've
uh
raped them or something. And the thing is, I was sitting there watching it. Obviously, I watched it through, and I realized like they are stupid decisions they're making. And let's not like get it
crazy.
wrong. The stupid decisions that they're making. Yes, they're young, and yes, they have they have this life that they've lived to get them there.
Mm,
So from the outside, looking at it, you're thinking, "Oh, you're so stupid. You should have just called the police or ambulance,
yeah.
and that would have been the right thing to do at that time." But obviously,
Mm,
they've been through things that have made them so reluctant and so scared of doing that. They're willing to go and do the stupid thing of trying to, you know, trying to basically, like, let's say your your water tank is leaking. Rather than
mm.
call someone, they're trying to put sellotape on it, man. Like they're trying to put sellotape, but not even like the best duct tape. They're putting regular
Yeah,
sellotape on it,
sellotape.
and it's not going to work.
Exactly. No, no. I think for me, what works for me are the moments where they're trying to, where the director or like they're making a social commentary,
Mm,
and when it happens through like the comedic parts of the movie, I thought it was like really really funny, like the interaction between like
mm,
the characters, and there's a third character, their other roommate, he gets
yeah,
involved in it, and he's a Latino character, and
yeah,
so there's you got these kind of like you know these people of color trying to navigate around this whole situation because
mm,
they don't want to get in trouble. They don't
mm,
want like to get caught up. And one of them just wants to have a party and get laid.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
let's
yeah.
not beat around the bush. And so they go on this crazy journey, man. They take they take the young girl like over here, over there, and they're being followed by people as well. And it's just like crazy, man. Just exactly like what you said. Anybody else would have just called the police or would have called the ambulance, but
Mm,
given the situation, given the type of kind of society that and what's going on in America right now, I
mm,
thought it was like, okay, yeah, look, you know what,
mm,
people, this probably could happen to someone.
mm. Yeah, exactly. And it's so
Yeah,
funny. There was a moment of when Carlos, the
the,
Latino guy,
yeah,
he I think yeah, he was with the other two brothers, and
yeah,
then some other people came, the sort of friends of the girl that they're with,
mm,
and one of the guys from the other group, he saw Carlos and said, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And Carlos said, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And then the girl that's with this other guy, she's a white girl, she's with this other guy who looks white, and she's
yeah.
like, "What? Your cousins?" And he said, "Yeah, that's my cousin." And obviously Carlos looks more Latino,
Br- yeah, it looks more Latino. Yeah,
brown and everything, and
yeah.
she's like, "Your cousins?" He's like, "Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's just really light, but he's
He's
Mexican."
really light.
And it was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I'm
exactly.
Mexican," and she was like, "Oh," like it made her think, "Shit," you know.
Shit,
That's where
exactly.
you get
So
like
that
colorism comes into it as well,
big
you
time.
know.
That was big time. And the whole thing, like with the first thing, like when the girl who's unconscious, her name's
Mm,
Emma in the movie. When Emma
mm,
is like unconscious, her sisters follow, trying to find her as well. When she sees like Kunle and
mm.
Sean around, the first thing that she sees is like obviously, oh, they're doing something to my
Yeah,
sister.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
that
It
kind of
looks
racial
bad
profiling,
straight
it
away.
looks bad
Wasn't she their
straight away.
friend? Wasn't she their friend that we saw at the start of the film? The same girl.
No, no, it was a different person.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it was. This
Oh, she
was
looked,
like
yeah, she looked different, but I thought because she'd done herself up, she looked different.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, no,
someone totally different.
it was totally different person.
Okay,
But
okay.
the initial reaction is, oh, like yeah, like
Mm,
it's two black people with like my
yeah,
sister. So
yeah, yeah.
maybe there's something going on wrong. So that was
Okay,
the first
okay.
thing. So there's a lot of that, and then kind of things. There is kind of like some dramatic moments in there, like at the end when the police come and
Mm,
they you do have that, but for me the comedic elements work the best.
mm,
And the conversation between the three kind of like roommates, there was one bit in particular where Kunle says to the other two, like, statistically speaking, black people, they don't get shot by police
mm.
officers. And then Sean is like, what the hell are you talking about? And then Kunle goes like, do you actually know anyone who's actually been shot?
Mm.
And Carlos is like, no, I don't know anyone. He's like, yeah, well, exactly. And then Sean is like, yeah, I know someone, like my cousin. And there's the whole dynamic. So
Yeah.
it's not like kind of like a masterpiece. Don't get me wrong, but it's interesting. It has its moments. It does enough to kind of justify the viewing,
Mm.
and you should watch it. And yeah, man, I thought it was decent. Like it was an hour and a half or whatever it was, hour and
Yeah.
40 minutes, and it kind of just flew by.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. I think the director actually made a short of this, which is about
Mm,
12 minutes. Made a short film, and then the short film has now been picked up to feature, which is on Amazon.
yeah.
So it's good to see. And then one of the main stars in it as well, the guy that you mentioned, that's more sort of party going. He was the one that was in The Harder They Fall with Idris Elba.
Oh,
That was him. Yeah,
now I
he
know.
was in
He
The
was
Harder
the
They
one with
Fall.
the fast
Yes,
draw.
yes, 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 yeah. So that's him.
He's
So
slick. Yeah, he's
they're
good,
all kind
man.
of up and coming. The director's up and coming. These actors
Yeah.
are up and coming. So sometimes it's good to see them when they're young and fresh, and then see what they're like
Mm.
in 10 years' time. So like I said, it's on Amazon. It's worth a watch. Go give it a watch. Go
Go
see
give
what
it a
it's like.
watch. Yeah, and let us know. Let us know what you think about the
Yeah.
about the movie. All right, listen, that is the end of the show. So we hope you
Mhm.
enjoyed it. Please get in touch with us on Instagram. Let us know what you're watching. Like I said before, like and subscribe us if you like what you hear. And yeah, we hope you can support the show.
Yep.
Deval, what's coming up next?
Next week we got Jurassic Park Dominion.
Oh, and we've got Ms.
Clever
Marvel as
girl
well.
and Miss
Clever
Marvel.
girl. Yeah, and another episodes of Obi-Wan, which we'll be
Ah,
speaking about as well.
and the boys. Lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would have caught up by then anyway. So yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
definitely get into that again. So listen, yeah, thanks for joining us
Okay.
on this one, folks. We'll see you.
All right. Peace out.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.